22 for 22 for the free throw line. What do you make of that?
I mean, it's great. I mean, we value free throws. It's a big part of what we do, and to see guys step up and make them at that clip is huge. I mean, it's probably not going to happen every night, but I think overall we can be a really good free throw shooting team, and a big key to that is Umar. If you have a 5-man like that, that is that big and can draw that many fouls, and it's a lot for a defense to handle, and especially if he can step up and make his free throws.
How would you grade the defense through the first 3 games?
I mean, it's growing. I think we gotta, we're kind of traditionally, I mean, we obviously have core concepts we play with, but we can lean to be pretty heavy scout based, and so I think you got to get games under your belt, to play against different styles and different actions, and then figure out kind of how we want to guard them, plan A, plan B. I'm seeing growth. I definitely am seeing growth, and and it's hard in some of these games. You get these big leads, and your second unit or your last group come in there and they give up some threes, and I mean it drives the coach crazy, because you're fighting hard to have good numbers. But I thought overall in the first half we were really good, and they're a set, base oriented team and an inside oriented team, and I thought we were able to take both those things away, and I thought that kind of got us ignited a little bit.
Another very good game, 24 points, 6 3-pointers. What do you think of his performance?
Yeah, I tell him shoot more. I mean, I think he's, he's such a good player, and he can involve others so easily. Sometimes I think he's turning down open shots for himself, and then I bet if we look at what happens next, sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. And if he's feeling it like, he's shooting it like that, and the way we're moving the ball and the way they were playing defense, they were trying to keep the ball on one side of the floor, so it creates weak side rotations and a lot of open opportunities if you're willing to hunt them. So, I told him in the second half, I said, start shooting threes. I thought at the end of the first half, we had an extra pass 3 to him, kind of on right in front of their bench, and he turned down the shot, and I think we ended up turning the ball over. And I just told him you got to shoot those shots. I mean that's the best team shot we're going to get, and as a unselfish player, you got to shoot it.
With picking him for taking the free throw, the technical shots, is that like just a stat-based thing, or is there anything else why you go to him for the?
I don't look at stats that much, so I mean it's just I have a pretty good feeling if Curry's going to step up there and make a free throw, and if he misses 1 or 2, and the way he was shooting the ball tonight, then I'll adjust. But I couldn't tell you what our free throw shooting percentage is.
How do you think the team is prepared based on these first 3 games for Maui?
I mean, I think we're good. I think we had a couple days, this past weekend where we didn't have a game, and we were kind of able to put some things in, that potentially we think we could face in Maui. So I think we're good. I think we got through these first games. I think, our guys are getting a feel again for how hard we need to play. Our new guys are understanding that, there's a level of effort and a standard that you got to meet to be an Arizona basketball player, and they're starting to hit that. I mean, I thought Cedric tonight was electric. To see him play with that effort, and that's kind of what I had envisioned with him. But again, it takes time for that to happen. There was 2 plays, if you guys go back, and I'm sure you guys all have went back and studied last game. 2 plays in the first 4 minutes where literally it was we were in a transition opportunity, and but Pella literally outran him both times. I mean, one was on one side of the floor, one was on the other. Literally, run the sprint and got the layup, and we showed him, that's how you get going in this system. And so he had some great effort today, and I think that resonated with him, and you saw improvement today.
How many times have you been to the Maui Invitational, and what do you think this test can do for you?
I think it's my 6th, and it's an awesome, tournament. It's the premium, preseason tournament, and it's special for your fans, and I know Arizona fans are going to be there. It's a special venue, and it's a great field. So, basketball wise, we're looking to we want to go figure out where we're at, where we stand, and we're going to be aggressive, and we're going to go for it. And obviously your goal is to win the tournament, but if you can't get past that first game, you don't get a chance. So we're 100% locked in on Cincinnati.
Remember that game you guys played Arizona 4
I do.
years ago? Yeah, and they weren't expected to be that good that year, but
No.
what did you think? What do you remember about it?
I mean, that I was almost had to said Arizona one because I was thinking of me. Gonzaga had beat Arizona that day. And I just remember it was a hard-fought game. And I remember they had a little guard who wasn't known for shooting it very well. And on those soft Maui rims, he hit like 6 threes to, early to kind of. I think they had a little bit of a lead, and I think we kind of wore them out in the second half and set up a epic battle between Duke and Gonzaga, between Hashimura and Brandon Clark, and I think was R.J. Barrett and Zion, and it was a special tournament.
You get to add Courtney back to the mix. How do you think that affects maybe some of the other guys' minutes in the rotation?
I think it lifts everybody up. I mean, everybody in our team loves Courtney, and they know he's a really good player. It makes us better. I have to keep reminding myself we're adding a really good player to the mix who, is a proficient ball handler, proficient shooter. He's tough. He's proven, plays his butt off on defense. So only positives.
When you guys have played so well throughout the first couple games and you're adding such a great player?
I mean, as a coach, you feel great. And, and Courtney, he's an awesome person. And, I'm thankful we have him. And, he took one on the chin there having to sit out those 3 games, but that's how it goes. He handled it with class. He practiced well, worked out extra, and I know he's fired up to be playing Monday evening.
Get concerned about the turnovers, or do you kind of say, look, we're still scoring 100 points a night?
I mean, probably a little bit of both. I'm obviously we need to reel them in, and we need to get that number closer to 12. And it seems like they're happening in a number of areas and from a number of individuals. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to be conservative and make our players tentative. We're gonna teach with an open throttle. And we're going for it, and hopefully we'll start to see some results, and the turnovers will reduce, and the efficiency will go up even more.
Kerr's averaging 8 assists in his last 3 games. How would you describe his progression as a facilitator from last season?
I mean, I think Kerr's always been a really good passer. I think he has an even better understanding of what we're trying to do on offense, and he's just got a super high IQ. I mean, he's the consummate point guard. I wouldn't pick anyone else. I mean, he's my guy, and I'm proud to be his coach, and I think he represents Arizona really well.
And granted, you had said in the starting lineup, and Courtney wasn't playing, but I think no bench points for like the first 35 minutes or so.
Yeah, I mean those. I'm not concerned at all. I mean, the game, there's a law of averages that applies to the game of basketball, and sometimes they score, sometimes they don't, but usually it ends up balancing out. And I don't know. I'd have to go look back why they didn't score. I mean, maybe our bigs were scoring so easy that they didn't need to score. And they just came in and made all the right plays, which is something that I would be thankful for.
Henry only played 2 minutes in the second half.
Yeah.
What's the growing process?
I mean, I think he got some sort of contusion in his calf or something like that, and it was bothering him a little bit. But hopefully he can suck it up and get better and be ready to go Monday.
Are you gonna practice, or are you just get on the plane?
Nah, we're gonna celebrate this victory, and we're gonna show up Monday and let it rip.
Your travel day, so I was just wondering. Do you
Yeah, I
practice
mean,
tomorrow?
we may or may not practice both days. Yeah, I mean, we're still figuring it out, and
That when you have a long flight like that, it's best to get on the ground and go practice right away. Do you do that, or are you gonna play by ear?
When I get to Maui, practice usually isn't the first thing on my mind. So I'm gonna get out there and enjoy some nice weather and the scenery, and have a good dinner with our guys, and then and then hopefully we'll push all the right buttons and be ready to go Monday. All right, guys.